Hello, America, and what's up, world? Welcome to itz.tv. You are tuned into the number one leading reality talk show in the world. It's Roosevelt. The conversation tonight, y'all, is separate from last night conversation, but it's a repeat conversation that keeps coming up. A police identified as a white man involved with the death of a citizen of color. If anyone be honest with themselves, we all know why these killings are happening, and we can admit to some type of way why it's in the news. If we open our eyes to the things that's going on around us, we can clearly understand distraction is the key to keeping the poor people poor and the rich people rich. A comedian once said, if you take away the killing and all of those things, hey, we will lose a lot. So tonight I ask a question. Who is Samuel, y'all? Who is Samuel? You can join the conversation here live tonight. But I hate to say I'm rolling solo. So Texas, I will respect. But phone calls, I got to roll solo. Welcome back. It could be the killing in Chicago or the killing in Cincinnati. We can link Sandra's death to the death in Boston or the death in Cleveland. When the news come on, it's going to entertain, oppress, depress, excite, and or change someone's moods. So I want to ask the world tonight, do you know who Samuel is? I want to hit the World Wide Web, y'all, and see what the World Wide Web has to say about this guy named Samuel. So I have a couple of links that was prepared for me, and I'm going to go ahead on and throw them in here and see what the World Wide Web have to say about this guy named Mr. Samuel. The first one that's going to shout out here to me in a second. Let me see. Out of driver's fatal shooting. Driver's fatal shooting by campus cop investigated. And it's about a man being shot, fatally shot by university police in Cincinnati. They got some videos here and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, I did tweet out a copy of this link, and if I didn't, I did it again. Y'all could check it out for yourselves. I also Facebook one, and if I didn't, I just did. But y'all could check that out for yourselves. Let me go to another link while we got enough time right now. Let me go check out another link right quick, but that's just one link. Let me check out this here link. See what this link say. But that link say that a man named Samuel Dubose got shot. That's what that link said. Let me go here and see what this link gonna say about the man. But at the same time, y'all, I still ask the question, who is Mr. Samuel Dubose? Now, a last minute text, y'all. And the last minute text told me to research this man's name. Now, I don't know why it was really texting me to research his last name, but it was. The link that I believe I tweeted out, it says it was a protesters, again, the man release of a video, of a body cam video of a police supposedly was dragged by Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam supposedly dragged this police. That was the reason why this police shot him. And it sounds like a repeat. I don't know. It's like I said this story before. I just don't know where I heard it at, but I believe I heard that story before where the police tagged while trying to do a routine traffic stop. I've heard that before. Let's check out and see what YouTube has to say. Let's see what YouTube has to say. I'm right there right now, y'all. I'm getting to the right thing right now, y'all, because I want to see what everyone has to say, because it has an opinion. So therefore, I want to know who Mr. Sam was. My opinion about Mr. Sam may be different than your opinion, and I'm not here to challenge no one, but I would love to hear what your Mr. Sam was, or however you would like to categorize it. But me myself, I'm going to take a look at what YouTube had to say, and I invite y'all to take a look at it too.
For the very first time, we are hearing from police about what happened during that officer-involved shooting near the UC campus. Radio traffic from that night was released to us ago. Listen in.
Is this a police officer or is it someone else?
Yeah, the police officer.
In a report in the last hour, the officer says he was forced to shoot. A second officer saying that Ray Tensing, the officer in question, was dragged by the suspect's vehicle. That's just a taste of what we're learning from this report.
That's right, and as promised, we are on your side with every breaking detail in this investigation as it continues. Our Tom McKee continues our coverage right now with the officer's side of the story and new information from the prosecutors. Tom?
Well, basically what we have is we know the basics of this story. Officer Ray Tensing saw a vehicle driven by Sam DuBose at Vine and McMillan Streets, followed him down Vine Street to right Streets in Mount Auburn, and that's where the incident report that we've just gotten today says things turned from routine to tragic.
The report of UC Officer Eric Weibel says he was on patrol Sunday when he heard Officer Ray Tensing the radio, "Shots fired, shots fired." Other UC officers sped to the scene, notifying Cincinnati on the way. At Rice and Valencia, Officer Weibel came across. According to Officer Tensing, attempting a traffic stop when it began to be dragged by a male. The report continues. Officer Tensing was almost run over by the driver of the Honda Accord and was forced to shoot the driver. One shot was fired, fatally wounding DuBose, whose car traveled a full city block before crashing. Officer Tensing complained of left arm pain at the scene, and his colleagues noticed that his pants and shirt looked as if it had been dragged across a rough surface. At that point, Tensing was taken to UC Medical Center for treatment.
Now, Officer Tensing was wearing a body camera that night, and video from that incident has been turned over to the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. A grand jury today began preliminary review of that information, which we purport to believe contains a review of that video. Of course, the DuBose family and organizations do not want any delays. They want that tape released right now, so everybody.
Welcome back to itz.tv. You are tuned in to the #1 leading reality talk show in the world. It's Roosevelt. The conversation tonight is separate from last night's conversation, but it's a repeated conversation that keeps coming up. A police identified as a white man involved with the death of a citizen of color. Now, have you heard about Samuel DuBose from Cincinnati? And if not, I'm going to just briefly just give you my description of this man. And this is my description of Mr. Sam. Sunday, July 19, 2015, Samuel DuBose was shot and killed by university police. Now, I did my research and I come to find out that the Mayor John Cranley says license plate pulled over should not result in the loss of life. And he applauded the University of Cincinnati decision to reform its police department following a fatal shooting by a UC officer Sunday. Now, like I say, my description of him is a man that was shot and killed by university police. That's my description of him. Now, what led to my description of him was what the mayor said. I know y'all know as well as I know that sometimes people put themselves in the line of fire. Now, in this situation, I don't know. I don't know, did the man put himself in the line of fire? I don't know. But there's a body cam that they're asking for. They're asking for the release of a body cam that shows if he was dragged and how things went down. So as they wait on this body cam to come about, you know, I keep asking the question, who is Mr. Sam Debose? Who is Mr. Sam? As I run to a quick break, y'all, I want to just bring up a clipping of something that I seen on YouTube with a young man, and he was dealing with the police.
This is what happens when there's two black dudes in a nice car. We get flagged.
Can I grab my information out my insurance box without getting shot?
Sure, go right ahead. I'm Officer Timmons with the Gagsboro Police. The reason I stopped you is for your music. When you came by me on the highway.
My music?
It's too loud. What are you on federal probation for?
Distribution of cocaine.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything? You're pulling me over for this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just inquiring as to whether
well, my PO's name is Miss Carol Sane.
I
her phone number.
saw that.
Oh,
no,
I
got
I know.
all that. I got all that information.
I got a job. I pay my taxes. I've been home a year now,
Okay.
and I would not like my probation history to keep coming up every time I get pulled over.
Okay, well, it's automatic because
It's automatic that it tells you I have a capias, and you call her. You don't talk to me about it. I don't like to hear about it. It's my old life, and I'm not doing that no more.
okay.
If you pull me over for something, give me my ticket for what you pulled me over for. Let me have my day. It's Memorial Day, my first one in 5.5 years. I took my cousin out with me, and I get pulled over for my music on the highway, not in a residential area. I know the law like the back of my hand. I'm not in a residential area. I'm on the highway. I can turn my music up as loud as I want, sir. I have a lawyer, 6'5". His name's Joe Benson. If you want to talk to him about that, we're going to do that. But you pull me over for nothing right now because my truck looks like this. I have pay stubs in the back for everything I paid for, if you want to see that. But right now, like, I'm really disappointed that I got pulled over for nothing.
Okay. Well, it is, in fact, against the law.
It's not in a residential area. When I put this is a competition car. I know where I can play my music and where I can't. In a residential area, you can't have your music up. On the highway, you're allowed to. As loud as you want. It's not disturbing anybody. I know this. If you want me to call my lawyer now, I have his cell phone number. You can talk to him. He'll pull the law book out and tell you the law. It's in Delaware, right?
Yes.
You need me to call him?
It's 50 feet.
It's not 50 feet. It's in a residential area.
Sir, the state law is 50 feet. I don't know what the town ordinance is. Now, I was going to give you a warning and just
I don't need a warning. I'll pay the
down.
ticket. I have the money for the ticket.
Just be patient.
This is how it goes down. I got all that footage. The music was too loud. Hold on, let me fix my glass. The music was too loud on the highway. Not in the residential area. Not down at the beach, where all them cops is on horses and bikes.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So why do simple traffic stops end in blood sharing sometimes? I mean, in that video y'all just seen that I seen for myself that I watched, I mean, sometimes we need to just be cool. We need to be quiet. We need to practice the Fifth Amendment. A good friend of mine, a co-host, a partner, he said it no clear. A youngster, a child, he said it no clear. My son, he said it no clear. You know, everybody said it, you know, just plain as day. Today, with the times that we're living in, sometimes you need to just shut up because you can end up dead and the police can be charged with your murder. But at the same time, if you shut up, you might just make it home with your life. You know, it is what it is. I don't know how to say it. I'm messed up. But tonight I'm solo on a mission to introduce to the world some have heard of, and you know, there's others that don't know of them. And I mean, Mr. Debose, a man shot in the head by a police who is identified as a white man. You know, I mean, I got a text earlier about this here, and I mean, hey, I gotta say, you know, I don't have an answer to everything because I don't know everything, but I'm on a mission to find out some things, and a lot of things, you know, I gotta stay away from because I don't understand. I won't understand them, but at the same time, to have knowledge of things is good and great, other than, you know, just not knowing about it at all. But at the same time, I got a couple of questions up here that was texted to me. One of them is, do you think this is part of Jade Him 15? I really don't know. I did cover a story about Jade Him 15, trying to find out about Jade Him 15, and I'm going to do a follow-up about the Jade Him 15 thing, you know, practice, rehearsal, whatever. I'm going to follow up with that, you know, but I don't know if it's a part of it, you know. From what I heard about the Jade Him 15, I heard of things like this supposedly break out to try to cause a situation where martial law would be called, you know. So, hey, could I say 2 + 2 isn't 4 when I've been taught 2 + 2 is 4 for many and many of years? Even though I know Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, should I continue to believe that Christopher Columbus discovered America, even though I have common sense to know that a person that discovers something is the first person to be there, and someone was here when Christopher Columbus got here? But moving on to the next one, they say, how do Samuel Debo's affects you? Well, it affects me in a lot of ways. One way it affects me because what happens when I'm pulled over for a simple traffic stop where I put my keys on the dashboard, put both of my hands on the steering wheel, and this policeman just all of a sudden just flash out on me? You know, hey, you know, how should I supposed to just go about saying that I cannot be the next victim of just something just erratically happened during a simple traffic stop, you know? So it affects me in a lot of ways. Not only affects me, but it affects my household because I have children. And when my children begin to drive, which one of them is ready to start driving right now, he's able to drive and he's driving. I mean, what am I supposed to tell my kids when they are stopped by the police? And young kids have the tendency to say, I know the law like I know the back of my hand. And, you know, and get to trying to, you know, use the old method from the olden days. You know, sometimes it just don't work. But at the same time, moving on to the next question, how have I did research on the New World Order? No, I haven't did research on it. I was encouraged to do research on the New World Order. I've heard talk of the New World Order. I know about the New World Order being on the dollar bill or a $5 bill or a $20 bill or something like that. I've heard, you know, talk of those things. But when you come up in a lifestyle that I come up in, sometimes some things are better for you to just leave alone and try to just stick with the basic things, because some things can overwhelm you and send you into, you know, some thoughts and thinkings that you don't want to be really involved with. So tonight, you know, I'm rolling solo, y'all. I'm rolling solo, trying to find out if y'all know who Samuel Debo is. And to, like I say, make sure that I answer that last question to the best of my knowledge to help someone that's seeking knowledge and sharing wisdom. Have I researched the New World Order? No, I haven't. I'm going to research the New World Order, and I'm going to hold a topic on that, because that's something that, you know, like I say, it ain't like you can do something about it, but to know about it and be aware of it, you can, you know, hey, like I always say, be prepared for the day and time, even though we don't know when the last day and time is. So through it all, I try to understand, learn, share, and introduce to the world one of the people some of us known, heard of, met on the front of the T-shirts, or even learned about their death on the local news, world news, some type of news, and that's Mr. Debo. You know, have you heard about Samuel Debo from Cincinnati? And like I say, if you have not heard of him, Sunday he was killed by a university policeman in Cincinnati. He was shot in the head after a simple traffic stop for not being able to see a license plate on his car, something to that nature. So tonight, before I go to a close with this show, I want to introduce to you Mr. Samuel D. Bose. Welcome back, welcome back. You are tuned into the #1 leading reality talk show in the world, is Roosevelt, and I am your host. Tonight I would like to introduce to you Mr. Samuel D. Bose from my side of my life, my side of my field. Sam, I will call him, was a man killed in the line of duty. Whatever that may be, he was killed while enjoying a high, blowing off steam, trying to make it home at least. He is history of another colored man, another colored American, giving their life for a change. In our grandkids' life or in our grandkids' life. This is another man, another soldier that was killed in the line of duty, who has given his life for change. We will walk away from this broadcast and continue to conversate about this situation until a new one come along. Just remember, nothing will get done if no one does nothing. I'm Mr. Roosevelt, the host of the #1 leading reality talk show in the world, and you were tuned in to It's Roosevelt on itz.tv. To Mr. Sam, I, myself, respect you for dying in the line of duty. Good night. Will we meet again?